What up, y'all? So much Marvel news is going on and they are keeping it hot off the press. All right, in this video, we're going to talk about the Eli Bradley news, Colman Domingo and Kang, and also Scoober culture. Let's check it out. This Eli Bradley news re-upset me because 2 years ago, we knew Eli Bradley was cut from the movie. So, because there were script leaks. I read them, and so when he was taken out of the movie 2 years ago, I was so mad because I'm like, dang, Elijah, come on, bro. So, just to give you a little backstory, Elijah played Eli Bradley in Falcon and the Winter Soldier. He was Isaiah Bradley's grandson. They had plans for Eli. He was 1000% in this film, and allegedly, I'm gonna say allegedly because nobody didn't go to jail. But allegedly, him and his family got into an altercation with another family at Disneyland. It went viral in the hood. Mainstream news ain't pick it up. And when I saw it, I was like, oh my God, kid, no. Yo, they about to get him up out of there. And he even knew he messed up because when everybody was detained by the police, he gave them a fake name. And I'm like, yo, you work for Disney. You can't be fighting on Disney property. I was so let down because I liked this actor, but I'm sure there's also a morality clause that says you can't be publicly fighting on Disney property if you're a Disney employee or contractor, however that situation is set up. So Nate Moore tried to explain that Eli is not in this movie because there just wasn't enough room for him, which is complete BS. The fan of me is like, bruh, stop. But the other part of me is like, they just trying to distance themselves from any controversy whatsoever right now. So I'm gonna go out on a limb and say maybe, hopefully they're just putting him on ice and maybe he'll show up in the future. That's what I'm hoping. Or why y'all just ain't recast him if he did something that doesn't align with the company? Or since he did not go to jail or was convicted of anything, Anthony Mackie, Nate Moore, why is nobody advocating for this young man? Has anybody sat down with him at Marvel and let him explain his side of the story? It sounds like to me he was doing Captain America stuff at Disneyland. He was protecting his family. He was saving the people. So couldn't nobody have a real conversation with this kid? I hate it, man, because once again, here's another black creator or comic character who is either cut from Marvel, shelved, or killed off. Why did nobody advocate hard enough to keep this character in this movie? This is a story that needs to be told about 3 generations of men having to deal with the complexities of being Captain America. There is a story there about a kid who sees his grandfather wronged by the country, and yet you see this other guy wanting to uphold the values of this same country who imprisoned his grandfather, and how that kid has to deal with the inner struggle of these 2 men that he have to see in reality. There's a story there to tell, and for them to say there's no room for that, but we have enough room to rewrite the script to bring Giancarlo Esposito in, and my God, I love Giancarlo. I want him in the MCU, but come on, man. Come on, man. We could walk and chew gum at the same time. We could have figured both of these things out. We could have got Giancarlo in the MCU somewhere and also kept Eli in as a middleman between Sam Wilson and Isaiah. And if y'all don't want to move forward with the actor, recast him. Or keep the actor. Give him a slap on the wrist, send him to anger management, therapy, yoga, tell him don't be fighting on company property anymore. If Mia Goth shows up in Marvel while she has a case and they don't bring this kid back and he has no case, I hope people start fighting for him to come back the same way people want T'Challa back. Or the same way people want Jonathan Majors back as Kang. This is why you gotta have somebody advocating and fighting for you. Mackie should have said, we keeping this character. Nate, we keeping him. Go tell Feige we gotta figure something out. Now, knowing Mackie, he probably was just like, I don't know. But do you know how much it would have meant if Mackie and Nate went to Kevin Feige and said, listen, we gotta make an exception. Bring him back or we gotta recast. I hate to say this, but there is something going on with black men and Marvel. Like, what is it? Damn, this really upset me yesterday. We're literally building out the young Avengers or champions, and you introduce us to this kid. We're not seeing him in this movie because y'all are saying he couldn't fit. Man, next topic. Now, anybody who's been following me, y'all know I've been on the Colman Domingo hype train for a while now. I think this man is immensely talented, and I want him to be a villain in Marvel, okay? I'm so glad Colman Domingo did this interview, and he verbalized a lot of things I've been saying. Number one, what I've been saying is this group of black actors in Hollywood is so small. A lot of them talk. So when I did this video here, and I talked about how these men talk to each other, and they're very aware of the culture and environment at Marvel, and how they don't want to take roles from each other, I wasn't making it up. This is stuff I know for a fact. So when Colman Domingo said, I didn't want to take that role, that's Jonathan's, I said that a month ago.
So we did follow up with a sit-down meeting with the heads of Marvel. So I did do that. And we talked openly about the landscape of Marvel and or even like the Kang rumors. And I personally knew that like, listen, I'm just all about energy and I just want to like do things that make sense and brings gentle energy. And but I feel like I want a role to be mine, whatever that role is, whatever I develop. I don't want to, something didn't feel right of me like, oh, would I replace someone? Or so I said, no, I want to build something from the ground up that's my own. So
when I tell you that people have asked actors about the role for T'Challa, and folks said, nah, I ain't making that up. Folks is talking. Ryan Coogler not in the meetings. They not feeling it. I was just on a stream with Chillmonger, and he was all huffy and puffy because Michael B. Jordan didn't publicly support Jonathan Majors when he was going through his legal stuff. And I told Chill, I'm like, bro, them boys is cool. Calm down. Let Michael B. Jordan do his thing. And now, when Michael B. Jordan posts the trailer for Magazine Dreams, Chill is like, I'm so happy Michael B. Jordan supports him. The support never went away. Colman Domingo saying, I do not want to be Kang is essentially him saying, I'm not about to kick that man while he's down. I'm not about to take his role and glow in his face and smile in these interviews about this character.
I don't want to, something didn't feel right of me like, oh, would I replace someone? Or so I said, no, I want to build something from the ground up that's my own. So
some of these actors don't look at this as just a job. Some of these people actually, unfortunately, see their peers in these roles because the community is so small. And Coleman is one of those actors who's like, I don't really need that role. I'm not hungry for a paycheck. He's booked out like Pedro Pascal. But on the flip side, he also don't want the publicity that comes with it either. He don't want to have to answer Jonathan Majors' questions if he would have taken that role. So essentially, he wants something for himself. So he's like, yo, I really like Norman Osborn. That's who I want to be. And I want Colman Domingo to stay 10 million miles away from Sony. Okay, don't manifest that for yourself, King. No, you don't want to be Norman Osborn. Let it go, let it go, let it go. I'd rather him be Mr. Sinister. Let him be Stryker, Sebastian Shaw, somebody else, Apocalypse. I'm just throwing names off the top of my head. I know some of y'all don't like race swaps. It don't matter to me. But he can't be Bishop, okay, or Blue Marvel. So y'all find somebody because he want to be a villain. So y'all put the fan cast in the comments of who y'all think Coleman should be. But the essence of everything is he's met with Marvel. He wants to be in the MCU. He wants to be a villain, but he's not going to be Kang. This is even more proof that Marvel be on the internet taking into consideration what the fans are saying, not saying they listen to the fans every single time, but this is example 100 of them seeing talks on the internet and acting on those talks. Another reason I'm glad he mentioned it is because sometimes people think these scoopers just be making stuff up out of thin air, and sometimes they do, especially in this new monetized Twitter world. Geeky Cast think he the scooper police, and anytime a scoop don't come true, he think the scoopers just be lying, but sometimes the scoopers be telling the truth, and Marvel just changes things, or actors decline roles, or roles get scrapped altogether. It doesn't mean that the people are lying. Marvel is just one of the most chaotic companies in Hollywood. They're changing things right now as I'm recording this video. Yeah, they're making some changes. I also don't think people realize how easy it is to have access to information. All you need to know is one person. That's it. Oh, and don't mess around and know 3, 4, or 5 people, man. You got a gold mine of information. So when we was telling people that Colman Domingo met with Marvel to talk about Kang, and other scoopers was like, not true, false, fake news, I'm so glad there was confirmation to us from Coleman himself. He met with them. They wasn't able to cook some up at the moment, all right? And this is what I love about people as they get older. They just tell the truth. So Coleman is just being straight up. Yep, I met with him. We talked. We couldn't find nothing at the moment. Giancarlo said the same thing. Now, when you get to frolicking with the younger actors, they want to play coy. No comment. Okay. If somebody had leaked that Denzel had been in talk with Ryan Coogler for Black Panther 3, people would have said that's a lie. It's false. Kevin Feige and Nate Moore would have said it's a lie too, because Denzel didn't meet with Feige and Nate Moore. So to them, it is a lie. Coogler had that man ducked off and they was talking one-on-one privately. So Coogler over here discussing roles, Feige and Nate Moore don't know nothing about. So if somebody would have asked them, hey, what do you know about Denzel? And they would have been like, hey, we ain't heard nothing about that. That's not to say if this scoop leaked that the scooper was lying. That's to say that baby Kevin Feige and Nate don't know what Brian got going on over here. And that happens. That happens so much that people are having these little off one-sided meetings, and the actors come back and tell somebody on their team, and somebody on their team leak it. It's just that simple. Or sometimes these actors or these celebrities be dating people who are not like big on social media, have a small social media following, and unfortunately, they be putting stuff on their story. Or they tell a friend who know one of the scoopers. It's really not that difficult, guys. I think people think this scooping game is easy. It's so easy. All you have to know is a couple people. I say that to say things be going on, parts be moving. Sometimes everybody don't know what the right hand or the left hand is doing. Okay. Another example, Alex P over at the Cosmic Circus or Cosmic Wonder had leaked that Agatha and Rio was a married couple a long time ago. So when the Agatha show ended and somebody tried to press him on it and was like, yo, you lied. You said they were married. The show didn't say anything about them being married. Alex ain't respond. Alex was like, all right, you got it. You got it. This was way back in October. Guess what just happened last week? February 2025, the showrunner comes out and confirms they were married. It just didn't make the show. But somebody told Alex it was leaked. So I say this to say Marvel is just a very fast-paced, ever-changing company. I believe they were going to recast Kang, but I also think that Doom became a hot topic, and once they started seeing the fans wanted Doom, I think Doom and Kang was both going to be in play, but once they got RDJ on the line, hey, we're moving forward with Doom. Could Kang come back? Is everything on the table? I think so, but these rumors, some of this stuff, complete BS, but some of this stuff is legit and things just change. I 100% believe that Lakeith Stanfield met with them folks at Marvel for Silver Surfer. They got deep into talks, and whatever happened in his mind, that man thought he had that role. So when Julia Garner was announced as Silver Surfer and Lakeith Stanfield had that emotional outburst like, what? I thought that was my role. I 1000% believe it. You can say that Lakeith is strange, unorthodox, a little eccentric, but I've never known him to be like a social media troll or somebody to just lie publicly. So I believe that was a real thing that was going on. And it might still be a real thing. Who knows? I also believe Adam Driver was in deep talks with Reed. I think money was funny and he backed out. Same with Matt Smith. I don't think these scoopers were lying. Marvel just be having people walk away and turn these roles down. Point blank, period. I guarantee you, you will never hear them come out and say, Pedro Pascal was our #1 pick for Reed. Pedro Pascal was probably so far down the line, so far. I just think these actors was walking away from this role left and right. So to wrap this video up, get Eli Bradley back in the MCU quick. What role do y'all think Colman Domingo should play? And everything you see with kind of reputable scoopers, I would say believe it 50% of the time. For real. I think some of this stuff really be true and things just change. But yo, thanks for hanging out with me.